My boy just, look at them hugging. That's so sweet. Did he just stab Sephiroth? Cheap start back course with some more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth content. Post State of Play, we do indeed have a brand new trailer for Rebirth. And it is, in fact, the final trailer. That's the title. So this is one that a lot of people are going to skip out on, which is perfectly fine. But we're still going to talk about it, react to it. Per usual, I try to avoid as much as I can when it comes to new trailers before I get to the chance to react to them. I do know Vincent's in the trailer. I've just seen somebody like tweet out a spoiler-tagged image. You know, it was covered up wherever on Twitter, but I just know Vincent's in the trailer. And then the thumbnail for this thing is pretty wild. I'll probably have it on the screen here. Forgotten Capital, our group, Sephiroth floating in the air with the wing and shit like that. So I know that's going to be in the trailer. And then when it comes to the actual like state of play event, I don't know anything other than the demo being like officially revealed and released and shit. It was at the top of the description of the final trailer. When I went to download it, it said at the very top, like, play the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo or something like that. I was like, God damn it. I mean, we knew it was coming, but still. Anyways, let's hop into it. Crack open the, what is this? Black Rifle Espresso Mocha. Take a little drink of that as usual. We always got something to drink right before reaction. Oh, baby. That's good. Let's go. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
Cloud, bring me the
Where's that at?
materia.
Oh, shit. Black Materia drop. Oh, shit. They're showing us. Black Materia, Temple of the Ancients right here. Keystone. That's what that is, though. Not Black Materia.
The beginning of the end.
Whoa, dude. The temple looks fucking good.
A watershed moment
Oh, look at that shot, bro. Oh.
for all mankind.
Phone's going crazy.
Hey kids, sorry we're late.
Whoop his ass, Cloud. Whoop his ass, Tifa. Alright, cool. There's probably some new shit there. There's the Palmer. Oh, they're doing it. Show the truck. Don Corneo. Apps. Oh my god, so much. Here we go. Oh, they're just showing him now, boy. Ooh, babe. What? The fuck is this?
Good, Cloud. Very good.
My boy just, look at them hugging. That's so sweet. Did he just stab Sephiroth?
Fill your hollow heart
Hollow heart.
with rage.
Roby Sabo will you. Shozak. There it is, baby. Whoa. What's going on here, dude? Last time we seen them, she's like laying in bed, but I don't think she had her coat on. So does he like find her body? He's so dirty. So this is before we see them in Elmira's house because he's cleaned up in that moment, I believe, right?
I'm back now, Aerith.
Ooh.
I'm back.
Ooh. What is this? Ooh. Materia and a sword as well.
We ask
Ooh, Cave of the Gi.
the black materia
Gi to talk?
to our
Or is that just a Gi guy? Regular Gi dude? Whoa, he looks
It
cool as fuck.
alone can liberate us from this endless dream.
Passing through.
Oh, baby, no way. I showed her. What's his name?
Hey guys!
They're getting some sun too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking sailor outfit, bro. This trailer's so good.
Well, Red, how do we look?
Oh, look at that fan service, baby. Whew.
Huh?
He's feeling some type of way.
Yourself? A reading!
Am I getting emotional? I think my eyes are watering a little bit, dude.
Enormous materia.
Ooh. Oh, Cosmic Canyon looks so good. Holy shit. Ebon. Ah, they showed Ebon.
Whoa! Hold this thing over right now.
You said that Sephiroth is your foe. I have a history with him.
You wouldn't believe what he can do.
Oh, shit. What the fuck? There's some card game. There's the mini game. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wait, don't misunderstand. You'll need a way home. So when you're ready,
Couple
I'll be
Ancients,
here.
looks like.
An emissary from Wutai is here, sent by Viceroy Saru.
With all
So the hooded guy is somebody from Wutai?
this goddamn blood on my hands,
Ooh, baby.
could I ever hold my daughter again?
Oh, they're showing it all in the trailers. No, I'm gonna cry.
Those we love, those we fear, Genova would become anyone to fool her prey.
Don't do this!
Oh shit!
I'm no fool.
Sephiroth!
So like the evil Cloud or manipulated Cloud, like he's about to, is he about to attack Tifa in that moment? What the fuck? And then we got Sephiroth and Zack. How did that escape my fucking vision just now?
Do this!
But I'm no fool.
Sephiroth! Hey!
This is the church.
No, not you.
Here, take it. This isn't about me, though. It's about saving the world. And you.
What is happening?
When spite and sorrow are harvested to feed the planet.
I'm feeling feelings. Oh, they teased Hell's Gate. My eyes are about to start leaking. Oh god, get emotional. I don't like it. I don't like to feel feelings. What a trailer. What a goddamn trailer, dude. I don't even know what to say. I was with the whole like ending stuff they're showing with like Temple of the Ancients, like Aerith trying to give Cloud like the holy materia and shit. Regardless of what we've talked about in the past, the fate of characters, this trailer definitely feels like they're hinting at her dying, like for sure. It's not necessarily that like we've talked in the past, like for sure Aerith's gonna live. We've talked about that possibility, but I've always kind of said like she's probably gonna die, but maybe this will happen. But this does feel like a send off for Aerith, which a lot of people have been saying that with some of the recent trailers as well. But this one for sure, this time felt like it for me. I do like the ending of the trailer too, that we're seeing them like tease like Hell's Gate, but like Cloud attempting to stop Sephiroth, which is kind of nice. Like almost like, you know, the will she live, will she die type of thing. It's obviously a pretty thick trailer, it's like 4+ minutes. There's all kinds of shit to talk about from it. So we're gonna have to do a trailer breakdown probably tomorrow, and then I don't know, maybe the next day or so we'll do the a demo discussion review, whatever. Speaking of the demo, I will say this really quickly. There is the first demo, which is Nibelheim. I believe it is the full chapter, of course. And then you don't get the Junon one until like down the road. They're going to do an update at some point. I don't remember exactly when, where you can play the second demo, which is the Junon stuff. And you have to play, I believe, the Nibelheim demo to get access to the Junon demo. I think now we're going to hop into the state of play itself. I'll watch that kind of off camera, and then we'll stop and talk about things that need to be talked about. Kind of the beginning of this is whatever. They show some regular ass scenes we've seen for Rebirth already. Then they have Kitase talk for a little bit, and then they roll the new trailer. So that's like the first 5 minutes or so of this. But then it goes into Hamaguchi, who talks for a brief period, and then they roll into like some CG scene of our group escaping the Shinner building, but like a completely different angle, and you're seeing some new shit.
本作がどのようなゲームなのか、私から皆様にご紹介していきたいと思います。
Things to talk about or break down from it. I mean, it's just the escape scene, but from different angles. You're seeing kind of the perspective of the Shinra soldiers, people flying around helicopters and on the bikes and shit. But you do see Sephiroth towards the end, and they're showing some glitches and flashes, so there's probably something to interpret from that, I'm sure. As we get a little bit more into the event and they start talking about the game, they do show off the world map kind of like right away. You can see the Grasslands, Junon region, Corel region, Gongaga region, Cosmo Canyon region, Nibel region, and the Meridian Ocean, and also the Northwood, which we do know that you can like swim in the game, and you can ride chocobos in the water, and the Meridian Oceans are going to be between like the Corel region and Junon's, kind of like where we're going to take the ship, obviously. But there is a bunch of islands there, and it does have like a fill bar, like there'd be objectives or things to find, so maybe we can kind of explore the ocean there. And Northwood should be, I'm assuming, towards like Temple of the Ancients and Forgotten Capital and shit, right? So they'll go ahead and show off all the different regions kind of briefly, and the first few we've seen quite enough of them throughout the trailers and stuff like that, but the first one's probably worth putting emphasis on would probably be the Gongaga region, where we do get a good look at the reactor.
The Gongaga region. Pay tribute to Zack by exploring his hometown, or visit what remains of the local Mako reactor.
The quality's kind of ass, but that's all on Square Enix when they upload shit to YouTube. But if we pause here kind of briefly, you can see like the domed destroyed reactor in the back that we've seen in previous other trailers we've talked about constantly, probably be in the Gongaga region, and now we have confirmation of that. We have also seen aspects of the Nibel region in other trailers, but this is our first real good look at it and get a really good look at the town of Nibelheim and like the Shinner Manor and stuff, so this part was pretty damn cool.
Where Vincent rests in peace.
And then after that, they do confirm that we can explore the Meridian Ocean with the Time Bronco, which we already kind of knew anyways, but they do give us a little bit of brief gameplay of that, which is kind of cool. We then get to see another like Chocobo capture mini game that we haven't seen yet, which is nothing like too crazy, but kind of cool, I guess. They then show us sanctuaries, which are like places you can find in the world that are for like essentially summons, right? We see Alexander here in this scene, but it shows us fighting Alexander in the VR, so I don't know if it's like you go here and you learn about the summon, and then you gotta go to like Chadley to fight the damn thing and get it, which would be a little underwhelming. But then it also rolls into this fight with the dragons, so it seems like the sanctuaries can lead to either like a summon or just like a unique boss fight or something maybe.
Come across sanctuaries brimming with knowledge of divine entities, or lairs inhabited by fearsome, unique foes.
But then they show us the proto-relic shit with Chadley, but it's showing our group in like their old like PS1 polygonal forms, but also what looks like the Fort Condor mini game. It's very, very interesting.
Once you recover all the proto-relics scattered throughout the world, there's no telling what new developments might be in store.
So that part's obviously teasing Gilgamesh, which some of you have been talking about for a while with the proto-relics, since they were described as like some weird like space-time altering type shit or something along those lines. That makes sense to be Gilgamesh, because he like travels through different dimensions and stuff. And this seems to confirm that, because it was clearly like a giant sand version, a Sandman version, Spider-Man 3 of Gilgamesh or whatever, which would be a little more interesting and intriguing if they didn't already confirm that Gilgamesh is in the game. Like we see it with the trailer that was shown at the beginning of State of Play, right? They show us Gilgamesh. So like to like be like kind of coy right there with the description as if it wasn't clearly Gilgamesh is kind of weird.
Next, let's talk about odd jobs. These quests offer a deep dive into the regions of the world and the crazy characters who inhabit them.
The whole section of the odd jobs is just full of so much shit, dude. There's just so many things to talk about. But I just love that first scene with like Cloud walking up to the cliff and pulling out the map and stuff. But just the perspective, the verticality, like how high up you are, but you know you can get down there. You might even be able to just jump right off there, depending on how far down it is and stuff. I just love that about this game. This is just this game is so much fucking more than we ever thought it could be. I know I've said that before in the past with some of the first trailers and gameplay we got for the game, but my god, man, it's so much bigger and better than Remake. We get an odd job of Cloud trying to catch a chicken or something, taking a picture of Red 13. We see Tifa turn into a frog, but also our entire group turns into frogs, and we're doing some sort of minigame there. We get to see an odd job of like 2 Johnnies, maybe trying to figure out which one's the real Johnny. I don't know. They do specify in this part that the Johnny like side quest or odd job is based on shit from the original FF7, which doesn't make any sense because there's nothing to really do with Johnny in the original game once you leave Midgar or whatever. You come across him, but there's not like a side quest or anything. Other than we know that because of the trophies, which is a spoiler, I guess. This whole video is a spoiler, so I probably don't need to do a spoiler warning. But you do like there's like a seaside inn or something you do for him, which is potentially the villa from the original FF7, which was in Costa del Sol, the like house you can buy essentially. Maybe that's what they mean. They then show off more of like the music playing mini game or whatever, which is kind of cool for what it is, but we're playing it for cats, and these cats are enjoying it rolling around, and there's nothing I've ever wanted more from a goddamn side quest than this right here. Somewhat joking aside, the actual interesting thing about the scene is in the background, you actually see posters that are like subtle Easter eggs of Emerald Weapon and Ruby Weapon, and that is some cool shit. We get a pretty extensive look at some of the mini games here, which some of them we've already seen plenty of course, but they do show us like some sort of like space shooter one. We get Rocket League with Red 13. They give us a newer version of the Whack-A-Box minigame from Remake, but also some sort of like kind of first-person shooting minigame where you shoot at some targets. We also get a better look at like the marching minigame, I guess is what you'd call it, from Junon, but it does appear to be a little bit like the dancing minigame from Remake. But the main takeaway from this is that they show us Red 13 in the goddamn soldier outfit, boy. What they scientifically refer to as good shit. That's something people have been wanting when it comes to the Remake project. I've been talking about this for literally years now, and it's something that I wasn't sure if they would go that route with it. I know they've done like some quirky, goofy shit like the original FF7, but I just didn't know if they'd go that far, and they are, and I love it. They then show us a little bit of Queen's Blood, but watching Cloud pull out the card and the way he like holds it up and then throws it, it just gives me like Yu-Gi-Oh vibes, bro. And I can't wait to send these people all around the goddamn planet to the goddamn Shadow Realm. We then get a scene of Cloud and Aerith talking in what is clearly the Sleeping Forest. This should be right after Temple of the Ancients. If it's following the OG FF7, her talking about the Black Materia, needing to stop Sephiroth, and you gotta be a Cetra to stop Sephiroth, and she's the last one.
He's planning to use the Black Materia, but I won't let that happen. He has to be stopped by a Cetra, and I'm the last.
We then get some really quick scenes of smaller versions of that weapon enemy that we've seen before, the new weapon enemy, and I don't know what that means exactly. Or the weapons can have babies now, or what exactly is this? We then get a pretty cool scene of these like sky lanterns that you've probably seen in like other movies and media that is taking place in Cosmo Canyon. It's a pretty damn cool looking scene. Kind of wonder what the context is though. We see them changing color. We get a really cool scene of our group at the Forgotten Capital, but also cuts to like a really good shot of the Forgotten Capital from the sky, and we're just seeing Whisperers everywhere. Actually, pausing it here for a second, this looks really, really good and not super different than the original FF7, right? Other than like the castle off in like the top left corner, whatever that is, but like the rest of the Forgotten City looks relatively the same to the OG, which is pretty cool. And then right after the Forgotten Capital scene, they talk about like building characters' bonds throughout the journey, a journey that like ultimately decides Aerith's fate. So again, just kind of telling everybody she's supposed to die. It's kind of weird.
How the group bonds during their journey. One that ultimately decides Aerith's fate.
You guys have definitely heard me talk about and complain about in the past. Like, it's not even about necessarily her fate. It doesn't really matter whether she lives or dies. It's just like, why are we talking about it all the time and giving that away for like the newer players, dude? Like, obviously, as OG players know what's supposed to happen, but like, if you're a brand new player and you're experiencing the story for the first time with the remake project, like, they're just throwing it in your face constantly. Aerith gonna die. It's just like, why are we doing that, dude? Like, let them figure that out for themselves, maybe. Fuck. Anyways, moving on from that, they go into a section where they start talking about graphics here, but they show us some of the Cave of the Geese stuff, and we do see like Gina talk, which it doesn't look like the guy we seen earlier with the actual trailer when I was doing my reaction. But it shows like the Gina talk fight is just Barrett and Red 13, which is kind of weird because you think Cloud should be there. I don't know. It's kind of strange. But dude, that whole section looks so good. When it starts, like we're going like, almost looks like the river of Styx, like we're in fucking hell, dude. It looks so good.
As for the graphics, Rebirth makes full use of the PlayStation 5 and its SSD.
I mean, this shot right here specifically, and make this into a poster, sell it to me. Actually, as I pause the scene here and look at it, the guy that's on the boat guiding our group across this body of water is the guy from earlier that I was talking about. And I made that River Styx kind of comment just now, but that actually might be what this is. He's kind of like, I think, Karen or Karan or something like that. The character, the Greek mythology that guides you across River Styx and Hades. Kind of crazy. And also, by the way, going back to the trailer to get a picture of that character right there from the Cave of Gi, I hear what he says now because I haven't really watched the trailer like too many times as of right now because I want to do the breakdown video tomorrow or whatever. He talks about us getting like the black materia, so I guess they're going to incorporate like the Gi tribe into that story somehow. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
We ask that you retrieve it, the black materia.
We get some more scenes of like combat and our characters kind of traversing the world, and they move into like the graphics section talking about performance mode and graphics mode. There's one really cool scene where Cloud's fighting like the Shinner troops in Gongaga, and you see him like dodge some bullets. He does this so casually too. It's just some of the hardest shit I've ever done seen. They then show us like the characters, like different ways they can traverse the world. Essentially, Barrett's ability to shoot. You have Yuffie being able to like, swing across gaps. I hope she can still like throw her like shuriken to destroy boxes or whatever. They show Tifa using the grapple gun. I guess that's like her kind of ability or whatever. But the new one really is, or new ones really is Kate Sith and Aerith. They show Kate Sith being able to like pick up and like throw objects, which is whatever. But Aerith can apparently manipulate the live stream. Something I found kind of funny from that is they don't show Cloud doing anything unique, but I guess technically because he's the main character that you'll be controlling most of the game, he kind of does everything else. Like we've seen him climbing up a rope or whatever earlier in like the Gongaga area or something. But something else I'm kind of curious about from this is what would like the world abilities be for like Vincent and Sid? They don't, because they do join our party, but I guess since they're not controllable party members yet, they wouldn't get to do this. But I wonder what that's going to be for the third game. Also, if you go back and look at those sections, it's clearly like you controlling those characters in that moment. Like we know, like with the Barrett section where we shoot the crystals, that's probably like Myth or Mine. We've seen like the Barrett in Red 13 like boss fight with the golem or whatever that thing was. So it's probably that section where like your group gets separated or whatever, so you get to control Barrett in that moment. But we do get to control Yuffie apparently and do like the swinging shit in the Gongaga area with the grapple gun with Tifa. We're going to get to control Tifa at some point, and then Aerith, clearly the Temple of the Ancients. And if potentially, since it is actually the Temple of the Ancients, that might mean that when Aerith separates from our party and goes to the Temple of the Ancients to chase down Sephiroth, we might get to control her and just her to kind of traverse through the Temple of the Ancients. Now that I think about that, that's pretty fucking cool. So they move into a music section, which is obviously a fantastic aspect of the Final Fantasy game. Some of the best music in game. There's not a whole lot to break down from this. I mean, we've heard a lot of these tracks for 20 plus years. These are like newer renditions of it. But the main thing from this is the background. You're just getting to see like some other locations from different perspectives and shit. So that's really, really cool. But they do say towards the end that if you like the music, they've recorded well over 400 new tracks for this game. Holy shit.
If you enjoyed what you heard, we recorded well over 400 new tracks for this game. So there's plenty more where that came from.
Then move into like the kind of like bond and friendship aspect of the game where you can like kind of eventually decide who goes on the date with you later on in the story. But they show like this dialogue like with Tifa and Cloud. There's like a tank in the background and Tifa asks you what that reminds you of, and you can respond whether or not it reminds you of like the water tower, the promise you did, or just pass it off like nothing, like it's just any other Mako tank. And I'm so excited for this. Like it doesn't even have to be like other RPGs where they're super in depth and every choice matters and you make this choice here and 10 hours down the road you're gonna have some repercussions of that. It doesn't have to be that in depth. But the fact that you just have like dialogue choices like that and you see like the bond go up or go down with your characters, I just fucking love that shit, dude.
Yeah. At least I made that promise to you.
These feelings affect who will join you on a date in a gold saucer. something I'm sure many of you are excited about.
From there, they do show a little bit of the Tifa Cloud date for Gold Saucer. We're not going to get into the shipping shit because we've seen some of the Aerith date too. It's whatever. Pick whoever the fuck you want, dude. I don't give a shit. Said the correct answer is Tifa. And then we get to look at some of the synergy-related shit, but specifically they show us the folios, which is like, I guess like the skill tree. Like you build the bonds up with the characters, it unlocks more abilities that you can unlock in the skill tree.
The higher this level, the more skills will become available in your character's folios, a mechanic new to Rebirth. By unlocking the skills etched in these tones, your characters will grow stronger and learn new synergy commands.
I'm just really a big fan of like skill trees of any kind in an RPG. They don't even have to be like crazy complex. They can be simple, kind of like the Crystarium in 13, even though it's not great. They can be super insane like the Sphere Grid in FF10, or they can be relatively simple like the Final Fantasy 15, like, you know, whatever, I can't remember what it's called, but like the skill trees in that. And this looks like it's pretty simple, at least from what we're seeing here, but as soon as you level up the party, it opens up more, at least opens up vertically. Maybe it opens up wider too as you go, I don't know, but at least it's something. It's better than just leveling up and getting nothing. From there, they show us a bunch of different like combinations, and they talk about how like any possible character combination from the party, it has their own like synergy abilities, right? No matter who you use, you do say towards like the end of the section that you're able to reset your folios at any point, so you're not like locked in anything, which is what 16 did, which was kind of cool, where like you could, you know, experiment with all the different skills you want to unlock, all the different abilities, and at any point you can just kind of reset it to kind of go a different direction maybe.
And don't be afraid to experiment. You can reset your folios at any time.
That's pretty much it for the State of Play presentation for Rebirth, other than the demo announcement at the end, which they do bring in Nomura 4, which when it comes to the demo, I haven't even touched it yet. I've been sitting here recording for like 4+ hours at this point, trying to break this shit down. Likes, comments, subscribes are always appreciated. But when it comes to the demo itself, they do show off like some scenes. They further confirm that it is like, at least it starts from the beginning of the flashback, maybe even potentially the first full chapter, right? When it came to yesterday's video where we talked about like the leaked trailer and shit, like I told people that like what was going on. Like we see Cloud, Sephiroth, Sinner Soldiers standing in front of headlights. It's raining. That's the dragon fight from OG FF7, which Sephiroth isn't fighting the dragon. He fights like a different enemy in that scene. But the point is that's early in the flashback compared to what the currently known playable demo was, right? So I don't want people to try to argue against that. But again, David was right here. Or it does also say that they'll add the Junon section later on, which I did mention, I think, earlier in this video. But if you go to the description of the final trailer, they do talk about the demo. And they do say that they'll add it on an update on the 21st, and that you do have to complete the Nibelheim episode. That's weirdly not addressed at all with like the State of Play presentation when Nomura is talking about the demo, or like the description of the final trailer that mentions the demo is about like whether or not progress carries over, or like the Kupo Charm or the survival set. But luckily, they have that on the PlayStation Network. So if we come over here to the description of the demo on the PlayStation Network, it's really just the top couple paragraphs that matter. It says, players who have saved data from the demo can claim a Kupo Charm and adventure item set in the full game. Kupo Charm, an accessory that increases the number of resource items extracted at a set rate. Survival set, a selection of items to aid on your adventure, such as potions and ethers. Players who complete the Nibelheim episode will be able to skip the same section in the full game. Save data needs to be present on the PS5 console. The Junon area episode will become playable after an update on February 21st, 2024, and can be accessed after completing the Nibelheim episode. The Junon area featured in this demo has been altered to make the content more compact, so progress cannot be carried over to the full game. Before diving into the full game, be sure you have applied the latest update. This ensures you get the Kupo Charm survival set and the ability to skip sections covered in the Nibelheim episode demo. So there we have it, confirmation of save data carrying over from the demo, I guess. Like as long as you have save data from the demo, you can just skip the whole Nibelheim episode, I guess the whole first chapter or whatever. That's pretty damn cool, man. That's something people were wanting. Again, for me, it's not the biggest deal. Unless like the demo section or like the Nibelheim flashback section's like super, super long that I just wouldn't want to play it again for some reason. Probably just going to play it again on release. It's something I was on the fence about. I just didn't know if they would do that because we haven't had that precedent set for the remake project yet. But now they're setting that precedent. That'll be pretty much it for the video, my dudes. It's a lengthy one. There's probably details I missed from like this whole State of Play section. You guys can let me know. We didn't like obviously pause and break down all the little things in the background or look at every single scene or whatever. Plus, the quality's pretty shit. And that's just what happens when recording stuff loads to YouTube for some reason. We'll get to the trailer breakdown tomorrow for sure. And then the next day or so after that, we'll probably do some sort of like demo review or whatever the fuck. It just kind of depends on how much I want to play it. As per usual with these long ass videos, I'm starting to lose my voice here, so we're just going to wrap it up, my dudes. That's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, _DavidYT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.